curvy line, it means that one speed of the compressor or the speed of the blade of the compressor. Yeah, and then it is limited by the surge line, which is the minimum flow rate that you have to provide, yeah, in order to avoid the vibration. Yeah, and also there are stone wall line, which is the maximum flow rate of the gas that you can supply to your compressor. Yeah, you have to limit your gas in order to avoid the back pressure. Yeah, because if you have more in terms of gas than the requirement, so there will be a portion of the gas will be back to your inlet. So it means that is there will be a back flow rate or back pressure. Yeah, and also in the lower part is limited by the minimum speed. Yeah, and then the higher part is limited by the maximum speed of the blade of the compressor. Yeah, and then in that window we have to operate the operation inside the window. Yeah, so it will be the best for us. And then last week, yeah, we already learned also about how to prevent our compressor from surge condition, which means that this surge condition can be achieved when we have less amount of gas. Yeah. So many accidents that could create the problem of surging. For example, when we have valve blockage in the inlet of the compressor, so it means that because of that blockage, there will be no gas coming to the compressor. So it means that the gas will be less, and it can create the problem of surging. Yeah, and also sometimes blackout. Yeah, blackout can also create the problem of that low in terms of gas flow rate. Yeah, because during the blackout problem, yeah, so the valve will directly stop. Yeah, it means that the valve will be directly closed. When the valve close, it means that there will be no gas coming to your compressor again, and then will initiate the problem of surging. So in order surging condition to avoid the very problematic related with the vibration of the compressor, okay, we have to set up a system that prevent the compressor from the surging problem or from the vibration. How to do that one is simply by we recycle the gas, okay, from the outlet of the compressor, which has the higher in term of pressure, okay, uh, recycle back to the inlet of the compressor, which has the lower pressure. Okay, by adjusting or by providing so-called anti-surge valve. This system is called as the anti-surge system. Okay, so the outlet of the compressor will return back to the inlet of the compressor. Okay, so by adjusting the opening of this anti-surge valve, okay, we can control. Okay, what is the flow rate that gas, okay, return back to the inlet of the compressor in order to avoid the problem of surging in this compressor. Yeah, so this is the important of anti-surge system. Yeah, and then we also learned last week that we have additional anti-surge system. Yeah, in order again, yeah, to get a better performance in terms of safety. Yeah, which called as the hot gas bypass and also cold gas bypass valve. Yeah, this is another anti-surge system. Yeah, the additional one that we can provide in order to really make sure, ensure the compressor free from anti-surge system. Yeah, and then for this one, I will tell you related with the okay from your group homework. Yeah, you learn that by conducting this configuration compressor, yeah, you can achieve higher in terms of outlet pressure. Yeah, so remember you have a case that the inlet of the compressor has a pressure of 20 psi, And then it's required to have 160 psi as the outlet of that compressor. Yeah, so it's mean we already checked last week by using a single compressor, for example using C33, yeah, we cannot achieve that value. We cannot get the pressure outlet of 160 psi. What we have to do, yeah, we make arrangement in series, yeah, two compressor we combine in series, and finally we obtain the pressure of 160 psi. So it's mean that the series configuration could help us to achieve higher in terms of outlet pressure. Yeah, but how about the parallel configuration? Yeah, parallel configuration, yeah, in industrial plant is used to increase the capacity. So the important one, the keyword here is the capacity. Okay, in terms of series, the important one is the discharge pressure. Yeah, if you want to obtain the higher discharge pressure, so combine your compressor into the series configuration. But if you want to increase the capacity of the gas that you want to deliver, yeah, you can use the parallel configuration. Yeah, in terms of the parallel configuration, yeah, there are also three different philosophical operation, which called as main swing operation, equal flow operation, and the last one is equidistance operation. Yeah, what is the meaning of the main swing operation? Main swing operation means that you have two compressor, two or more compressor. Yeah, one compressor, okay, act as the main compressor or base load compressor, which means that, yeah, the flow rate will not be the same among between these two compressor. Yeah, one compressor will be given maximum value in terms of gas flow rate. Yeah, so this compressor 2 in this figure, yeah, will receive gas at the maximum condition, yeah, maximum capacity. Yeah, so it will be in maximum speed. Yeah, and then the remaining flow rate will go to the compressor number 1. Yeah, so that's why the compressor number 1 is called as the swing compressor. Yeah, because they only receive, yeah, amount of the gas which is not in the maximum. Yeah, but it is because compressor number 2 is not enough to treat all of the gas. So the remaining gas will go to the compressor number 1. Okay, so it's called as the swing compressor or swing machine in here. See, so when we will use this kind of configuration, yeah, this kind of configuration is usually used, yeah, when you have two different compressor. One compressor is quite new rather than the other compressor. Yeah, for example, yeah, you just buy a compressor number 2, yeah, and then the compressor number 1 is the old one. Okay, so how to do the operation? Okay, because compressor number 2 is new, so it's mean that the performance is much better than compressor number 1. So you have to do is, okay, you can have more load to the compressor number 2 and then give less load to the compressor number 1. Okay, because again, when you have a new compressor, so it's mean that the performance is much better the compressor number 1. Old compressor is prone to have, for example, more frequent to have failure, yeah, and then more mechanical integrity, less mechanical integrity. So sometimes that the operation is yeah, less reliable compared to the compressor number 2, which is the new one. Okay, so this is the first philosophy of the operation, yeah, which is called as the main swing operation. Yeah. When we look at this two performance curve of the compressor, yeah, imagine that is the when you split the flow rate to both compressor and equal. So for the compressor 1, yeah, it will be in QP1. Yeah, this is the green point. Yeah, as well as for the compressor number 2, yeah, when you split the flow in the equal way, so it will have in QP2 in here, the green one. Yeah, and then okay, when you operate in the main swing operation, which means that compressor number 2 will receive more in terms of flow rate until the maximum, yeah, compared to the compressor number 1. So which means that is you will operate the compressor number 2 in the maximum speed, yeah, so it will shift the green point in here into the red point here, yeah, into the main speed. Yeah, so okay, when you increase the speed of the compressor, so it will go to the right side, so the flow rate will be increased entering to the compressor number 2. Yeah, and then for the opposite one, yeah, in because it's on remaining gas, yeah, not handled by the compressor number 2, yeah, so the flow rate will go to the left side. Yeah, and then in this case you have to be careful, yeah, when the gas is less than what is the minimum gas, which is limited by the what is so called as the what is the for the vibration, yeah, so you have to increase again by opening the recycle valve. Yeah, so probably, yeah, you have left in here and then is below the surge limit. Yeah, and how to increase to put the operating point inside the window of the operation, so you have to open the recycle valve. Okay, by opening that recycle valve, which is inside the anti-surge system, okay, so you will return back the point, okay, to the right side to this point, QC1. Yeah, so there is a kind of the trade-off in here. There is advantage and disadvantage of this operation. Yeah, the advantage one is that when you operate this one for the new and then old compressor, yeah, the operation will have more in terms that RAM, reliability, ability, and maintainability. Yeah, so the ability to have a less, yeah, when you operate compare when you split the flow rate in the equal flow. Yeah, and usually this is the becoming the advantage. Yeah, but the disadvantage of this process in the case that the compressor one becoming a swing machine, yeah, and it has a less flow rate, so it means that you have to open the recycle. Opening the recycle valve, it means that this you will have less efficiency in terms of the process. Yeah. So again, this is the first one, main swing operation. Okay, and then the second one, yeah, so-called equal flow. What is mean? What does it mean by equal flow? Equal flow means that is you split the flow rate similar for the compressor number 1 and also for compressor number 2. Yeah, so 50% goes to the compressor number 1 and 50% goes to compressor number 2. Yeah, so in this case, yeah, you can apply this kind of configuration. Yeah, you can apply this mode of the dividing the flow rate when you have two identical compressor curve. Yeah, and it will becoming a problem. Yeah, when your compressor curve is not similar. Why? Yeah, for example, that is in compressor 1, the operating point is located in QP1 in this green dot operation. Yeah, but for the compressor number 2, because it has less in terms of that the capacity of compressor performance, yeah, as you can see in here, sometimes that the operating point could reach the search line. Yeah, so again, to avoid the search line in here, you have to open the recycle line, to open the valve of anti-search valve. Yeah, to make it your point, yeah, inside the window of the operation in here. And again, if you open the anti-search valve or you open the recycle line, means that the efficiency of the process, it will be less. Yeah, so but usually if you have identical performance curve, yeah, for example, if you buy directly two compressor, yeah, with same specification, yeah, and usually you will have the mode of the operation in equal flow, yeah. But in the case that your performance curve is different, yeah, it's becoming a disadvantage. So please don't use the equal flow configuration. Because why? Because it can create a problem to the one of the compressor when it reach the search point. Yeah. And then the last one is called that equidistance. Yeah. What is equidistance? So it's mean that this you have two compressor number 1 and also compressor number 2. Okay, and then you have a different in term of the compressor curve. For example, this one is the wider one. Yeah, and then this is the less one. Yeah, but in this condition, to adjust the flow rate that coming to the compressor 1 or compressor 2, yeah, so it's divided by the section. Yeah, you can create a virtual line in here, which is actually show you the distance to the search line. Okay, for example, in here, you divided this into the SGL, search control line, 10%, 20%, and 30%. You did the same, yeah, for the compressor number 2, yeah. You also can do that one for that compressor number 2 by dividing into the different lines, yeah. For example, 10%, 20%, and 3%. The distance between 10% to 20%, it could be different from compressor number 1 because why? The white area is different. Yeah, in this case, the window is different, so it could be as different. But the same thing, that's why it's called that equidistance. Yeah, equidistant, it's mean that the distance to the search line is the same, which is in this case, yeah, they decide to have the equidistant in 20%. Yeah, so in compressor number 1, yeah, they will have the distance of 20% relative to the search line. And then for the compressor number 2, also the same. They have 20% distance to the search line, yeah, relative for the compressor number 2. Yeah, so and then the flow rate goes to the compressor number 1 or compressor number 2. Yeah, it's depend on that distance. Yeah, when you have 20% distance for the compressor 1, yeah, it's mean that the flow rate will in this depth 1. Yeah, and then for the compressor number 2, the flow rate will be in depth 2. Yeah, the depth 1 and then depth 2, it could be different when you have different compressor curve. Yeah. So these are two modes, yeah, that we can apply for the compressor operation in parallel. Yeah. So yeah, based on my experience, yeah, which one the company will choose, whether it will be main swing or equal flow or equidistance. So actually, it's depend on the condition. Yeah, I've experienced, yeah, coming to industrial plant that also they operated in equal flow. Yeah, and sometimes they use the main swing operation, and sometimes so it's again depend on the condition in that area, which type of the compressor that they have, whether the compressor is old and the relatively new. Yeah, so they will have to conduct the main swing, or the compressor is actually the same. Yeah, they both at the same time. Yeah, they have the same typical of the performance curve, so they use equal flow. Yeah, or other condition, it could be applied for the equidistance, where they have the different performance curve. Yeah, and then the compressor is relatively the same. Yeah, they both in the same time, but in the different specification, for example. Yeah, so they can use the equidistant system. Yeah, so these three, yeah, can be applied, yeah, depending on the situation and condition. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any question regarding this um, compressor parallel configuration?
Sir, I want to ask.
Yes, please.
So to simulate the parallel configuration of the compressor in HYSYS, T, sir, the T.
Yes, it's correct.
To split the flow. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. And then in T, okay, you can adjust whether you will put, for example, the 50%, 50%, or 30%, or 30%, or adjusted by the system. Okay, yeah. So again, it's depend on your T specification. Yes, it's correct. Okay. You have any other
Sir,
question?
thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, if there is no question, okay. Actually, based on my flow, yeah, we would like to start related with the pump, but the pump is more or less is similar with the compressor. Yeah, so I shift a bit. Yeah, let's take a look to the other system. Yeah, that for today we try to evaluate reactor. Okay, so after finishing evaluating the reactor, okay, we will return back to the pump. So just to give a different environment, okay, to evaluate about this one. Okay, okay, okay. So this is the case for today class. Yeah, we have synthesis of ammonia. Yeah, as you know, the ammonia synthesis is consists of the reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen. Yeah, so 1 mole of nitrogen will react with 3 mole of hydrogen, and it will produce 2 mole of ammonia. Yeah, this reaction is very common in fertilizer industry. For example, in urea fertilizer industry. Yeah, because before producing the urea, yeah, first they have to create or to synthesize ammonia first. Okay, after the result ammonia, ammonia will react with CO2, yeah, and then it will produce urea. Yeah, so first they have to do the in ammonia. Okay, so the one that will be have experience to do the intensive project, yeah, intensive course in the fertilizer industry, probably in PKT, on in Pusri, or in Petro, yeah, or in Kujang. Yeah, we have 4 main fertilizer industry. Yeah, so you will learn about this reaction. Yeah, and then this reaction occur in the ammonia synthesis reactor. Yeah, ammonia synthesis reactor is actually consists of 4 beds, so-called the bed number 1, bed number 2, bed number 3, and bed number 4. Yeah, these 4 beds located in the single column. Yeah, so it's mean that in the top side it will located bed number 1. Yeah, and then lower part bed number 2. Yeah, and then after that bed number 3, and then at the bottom is the bed number 4. Yeah, the synthesis reaction is a kind of exothermic. Yeah, so this is the synthesis ammoniac is a equilibrium reaction. It has exothermic condition. Yeah, exothermics mean that the outlet of the reaction of the reactor will have higher internal temperature. Yeah, compared to the inlet temperature. Yeah, and then for the exothermic one, yeah, it actually gitu, actually, yeah, is not what is the advantage to have the higher temperature. Yeah, the equilibrium tends to go shift to the right. Yeah, when temperature is lower. So in order to do that one, yeah, to increase the yield of the ammonia, what they have to do, they conduct quenching system. What is quenching system? It means that, yeah, when you have a reaction, so it's mean that the outlet temperature will be higher, yeah,
Sir, excuse me,
compared to
sir.
the. Pardon?
Is there supposed to be a slide?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Wait a minute. I missed to. Okay. I forget to. Okay, change the. Okay, how about this one? How about
Yes.
my PDF?
Already, sir.
It's already appear in your laptop or in your
Yes.
computer?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Now it's visible.
Sorry. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I forget to change that the screen. Yeah. Okay. But okay. I will repeat again my explanation. Again, we will talk about ammonia synthesis for today, for the case that we will discuss for today class. Yeah. So again, ammonia is a reaction between nitrogen 1 mole, okay, react with the 3 mole of hydrogen, okay, and then it will produce 2 mole of ammonia in here. This kind of reaction is equilibrium reaction and have exothermic condition. Exothermic, it means that at the outlet temperature, okay, it will be higher compared to the inlet temperature. Okay, but in the exothermic reaction, the temperature should be maintained, not too high. Because when your temperature is too high, the equilibrium will shift to the left. So in order to avoid that one, because we want to increase the yield, yeah, we want to shift the reaction to the right side, to the product. So we have to reduce the reaction temperature. How to do that one? Okay, please look at this process flow diagram. Okay, this is the schematic diagram of the ammonia synthesis reaction, okay, or reactor. Okay, there will be 4 beds. Okay, bed number 1, bed number 2, bed number 3, and also bed number 4. Okay, those 4 beds, okay, actually occur in the single column. Yeah, so in the top side it will be bed number 1, yeah, lower bed number 2, and then after that bed number 3, and then at the bottom is bed number 4. Yeah, again, remember about the exothermic. In the exothermic condition, yeah, the favorable reaction temperature is not too high. Yeah. So in order to do that one, they provide with the quenching system. Yeah. For example, for the bed number 1, the feed gas enter the bed number 1, conduct the reaction because the reaction is exothermic. So the outlet of the bed number 1 will have a very high in terms of temperature, higher than the inlet of that bed number 1. In order to reduce the temperature, so what they have to do, okay, they will split the feed gas, okay, which is temperature is around 128 degrees C, okay, and then some of that feed gas combine with this outlet number 1 to reduce the temperature. So we maintain the temperature in for the bed number 2 is lower. Okay. So quenching system in here is used in order to reduce the temperature. Again, why? Because that one is related with the condition of exothermic, and in exothermic condition, okay, it's much favorable to have the reaction in the lower temperature in order to shift the reaction to the right side or to the product side. Yeah. So we will have quench number 1, quench number 2, quench number 3, and also quench number 4. Yeah, because why? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 beds of that for the reaction. Okay. And in general, yeah, why we have to consider about bed number 1, bed number 2, bed number 3, and bed number 1. When is also why do we have to consider about the quenching system? Because yeah, one true reaction of ammonia usually less than 20% of conversion. Yeah, it's very low. Yeah, because it's very low, so we have to provide more than one bed. Yeah, bed number 1, bed number 2, 3, 4, then. And also in order to increase the product yield of the product, okay, we have to put the temperature of the reaction as low as possible. Yeah, so that's why they have the quench 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then this table show you, okay, about the data. Okay, the data. What kind of the data? Data of a temperature. Okay, for example, for the converter in, which means that is the inlet of the gas. Okay, it will have temperature, for example, 128 degrees C. Okay, and then for the inlet first bed, okay, it will be 353. Outlet will be 481, which is higher than 353, the inlet. Okay, so it means yes, it's correct. It will the reaction is in exothermic condition. Okay, so probably you will ask, what is the importance of this temperature data for us? Yeah, the performance of the reactor is defined based on the percentage of conversion. Yeah, the percentage of the conversion. But yeah, when you come to the industrial plant, yeah, there will be no data related with the percentage of conversion. Okay, when you come to the DGS, when you come to the control room, okay, there will be no mentioning that oh, the bed number 1 have the conversion around 15%. Okay, no information about that one. The information that given from the process plan or from the DGS or from the control room is related with temperature. So this temperature is important for us, that we will use this temperature data and then we convert this one into the selectivity or into the conversion value of each bed. Okay, so the idea in here that what we will do in here actually that we try to find, okay, the conversion of the reactant for each bed. Unfortunately, the data is not available. It is available when we able to convert this temperature data, yeah, following the performance of that operation into the conversion number. Yeah, so it's mean that there is a step that we have to do. Yeah, so similar like you evaluate, for example, for the resident time of the gas. Yeah, when you come to the DCS, when you come to the control room, yeah, there will no mention about the resident time of the gas inside the sperator, for example. There is no data like that one. Yeah, you have to convert it based on the flow rate and then based on the volume of the separator. So you will have the value of resident time. So similar case with this one. Yeah. So there are three data: data with related with the design, data related with the performance test, and then related data with the operation. Okay. Yeah. So the purpose of this study actually, yeah, the company asked me or asked you as the chemical engineering, which batch of this reaction that has a lower value compared to the design. Yeah, so which batch in the ammonia synthesis reactor that the performance is lower. Yeah, so by following this data, you have to find in which bed, whether it's bed number 1, bed number 2, 3, or it bed 4. Yeah, it can be both bed 1 or bed 2, bed 2 or bed 3. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, we have to do the evaluation according based on this temperature profile. Okay, and then this is the data related inlet of that reactor. Yeah, it consists nitrogen, hydrogen, ammonia, small amount of ammonia. Yeah, and then the CH4, and then also contain argon. Yeah, this one is related to data related with the catalyst. Sorry. Yeah, and the catalyst for the bed number 1, 2, 3, and also bed number 4. Okay. Okay, how about the problem definition? Is already clear to you? About the problem definition? Is it already clear? Or do you have any question? Okay, it's clear?
I think it's clear, sir.
Okay, okay, it's clear. So I will go directly to the our HYSYS. Yeah, we will use the Aspen HYSYS. Yeah, to simulate or to calculate the conversion for each bed. Yeah, so I will. Okay, how about my HYSYS? It's already appear in your laptop, in your
Already, sir.
computer. Okay, so I will start with a new one. Yeah, because I don't have the startup file. Yeah, or starter file. Yeah, so you can see in here how do we create the Aspen HYSYS for this kind of problem. Okay, first that I would like to define the component. Yeah, so I will go to table number 2, this table number 2, because this table number 2 show me about the component. Yeah, and then so I will define the component, okay, in the same order with the table of number 2. Okay, so I will start with the nitrogen. Okay, okay, after nitrogen I will get the hydrogen. Okay, and then ammonia. And then after that is methane. And then argon. as the fifth component. Okay, so I have nitrogen, hydrogen, ammonia, methane, and also the argon. Okay, and then after defining component, I will move to the fluid package. Okay, for the fluid package in here, I will use directly because it's contain hydrogen carbon, yeah, CH4, so I will use directly PR, Peng Robinson in here. Okay, and then remember that different from the previous, yeah, in the previous case, we don't have any reaction. But in this case, remember that we have the ammonia synthesis reaction. So we have to go to the reaction and define the reaction. I will add this one, yeah, add the reaction. Yeah, for this case, I will start to use the simple conversion reaction. Yeah, because I want to know about the correct conversion for each bed. Yeah, so I will start with the conversion reaction. I double click in here. Yeah, I will add the component for the reaction based on this reaction number. Okay, this one. Okay, so it's mean that I will add the nitrogen react with the hydrogen, it will result ammonia. Yeah, in this one I will have the -1. For the hydrogen I will have a -3 for the coefficient of the stoichiometric. So the reactant will have minus. Yeah, and then the product will have a positive. But in this case I just click a balance button, and then they directly mention about the value of 2. So the balance of the reaction is already okay. Yeah, and then for this reaction for bed number 1, yeah, I will like to just predict that the conversion in percentage. So it will be as probably only 17% or 15%. Yeah. After defining 15% in the conversion, yeah, please look at this conversion mathematic equation. The conversion percent is equal to CO plus C1 multiplied by T and plus C2 multiplied by T square. Yeah. So in the case of I have CO 15%, so my prediction, yeah, for that initial value for the prediction that the conversion will be 15. Remember, I will change or I will optimize this value following that the correct temperature profile that I have based on that table 1 data. Okay, so this one is just for the initial value, okay, which is 15%. Okay, when I put the 15, it's already ready. The color is green, so it means that it's okay. Okay, and then it mentioned not attached to fluid package, so just I click attach to fluid package. Okay, and then set fluid package. Okay, and then this one I will add again set number 2 for the bed number 2. I will add again the conversion reaction. Okay, and then after that I will define again the reaction nitrogen and also hydrogen. Okay, and again with the ammonia, so it will be -1, okay, -3, and then I balance this one. Yeah, this reaction number 2 is used for the bed number 2. Yeah, and usually for the bed number 2 will have lower value compared to the bed number 1. So the higher reaction will occur in the bed number 1. Okay, bed number 2 will be lower. Bed number 3 will be lower again, and then the lowest will be in bed number 4. Okay, so for the CO value in here, I will put lower than 15%, which is probably, I don't know, probably 10. Yeah, remember I will optimize this value. Okay, just initial value. Okay, 10%. Okay, and then I will add to fluid package and set this one. Okay, this one is for bed number 1, bed number 2, and then I will add again for the bed number 3. Okay, and then bed number 3. Okay, will have the same reaction, which is the nitrogen plus hydrogen into the ammonia. Okay, this one will be -1 and this one is -3. Okay, and then I click balance. Okay, and then for CO here it should be less than 10. Probably I put a 7 for the initial. So bed number 3, the initial value will be 7% in terms of the conversion. Okay, so I just click add fluid package. Okay, and then set. Okay, and then I will click again, set reaction number 4. Okay, set number 4 is used for the bed number 4 as well. Yeah, this one is a -1. Okay, this one is -3. And this one the balance, so it will show directly the number of 2 in here. Okay, this one is probably less than 7, probably 5. I don't know, 5 or 4. Okay, so it will be ready. So I will click add to fluid package. Yeah, and then this one. So my reaction is ready. Set 1 is used for the bed number 1. Set 2 is for bed number 2. Set 3 for bed number 3. And set 4 for bed number 4. Yeah. And then after that, I will move to the simulation. I think I already complete in terms of defining the component. Okay. And then to create the process flow diagram, I will go to this PFD. Yeah. And then for PFD, I will start with the inlet or feed. I will put in here feed. I will defining the composition, and then the composition will follow table number 2. Okay, which is the nitrogen is consists of 21.8%. Okay, and this one is consists of 65.39, and this one is 0.0172. Okay, this one is 0.728 in terms of fraction, and then the remaining argon is 0.382. Okay, the total it will be 1. Okay, so I just click OK. Okay, and then for the definition of the condition, okay, I will go to this table number 1. Okay, for the condition, okay, the circulation rate or the inlet, it will be around kilogram per mole is 25,435. 25,435 kilomole per hour. Yeah, and the temperature inlet, it's around 120 degrees C. Okay, and then the pressure, okay, this one, the pressure inlet, okay, is will around 142.6 kilo. Okay, after I defining the pressure and temperature as well as the flow rate, so it's already well defined. Okay, so my fit is already well defined. I turn back to this schematic. Okay, from this schematic, I will understand that it will be split into two line, which is one goes to this heat exchanger, and the others becoming the quench rate. Yeah, so I will put the T in here. Yeah, I will put the feed. Yeah, and then this one is go to 122C. Okay, and the other one is go to the quench stream. Okay, and then for this one, I just put the initial value. For example, this one will be 0.4. The split value. If not, it will not define. So I just to make it just okay. This one, so it will go to 120C. Yeah, and then for this one, the quench actually try to absorb the heat coming from the outlet by increasing the temperature of the inlet. So in here, I will put the heater. I just put the heater in here because again, this one, the outlet of bed number 4 will have a higher temperature. Okay, and this temperature will be used to increase the temperature of the gas inlet. Yeah, so the gas product will have less temperature compared to the outlet of bed 4. Yeah, so in terms of this feed, yeah, so it will be heated by this heat exchanger. So I will put this one is that 122C. Yeah, and then the energy will be Q122C. Okay, and then the flow rate is the go to this one, and then the outlet it will be the 2, yeah, out 1. Okay, for the parameter for the delta P, I just put the delta P is around 15 psi. Okay, which is actually it's only 1 bar. Okay, okay, and then how about the outlet? Yeah, and then for the outlet, I just defining the outlet. For example, this one is one is to this one into, for example, 400 or 350. I don't know. Yeah, I will optimize this value later. Okay, and then this line will combine with the quench number 1. So I have to split this one. Quench stream, I will split the quench stream into the quench number 1. And then this one is, for example, that remain 1. Okay, I will do the parameter. For example, this one it is 0.4 for the quench number 1, and then quench number 1, and then this outlet 122C, it will be combined. Yeah, we will combine from the outlet C and then quench number 1 into the inlet of bed 1. Okay, And then after that, okay, we remember that bed number 1 is a kind of the reactor. Okay, so we move to the reactor in here, and then because previously we defined the reaction type is conversion, so we select the converter reaction or conversion reactor in here. Okay, and then double click this one. Okay, the inlet of bed 1 is becoming the inlet of the reactor, and then this one is the vapor product of bed 1, and then this one is becoming the liquid product of bed 1. Okay, it mentioned require a reaction set. Yes, we can go in here and then we select the set reaction number 1 we define for the bed number 1. So after that it will be ready. Okay, be okay. Okay, and then the outlet of that bed number 1, yeah, will be combined with the quench number 2. So again in here we have to put the splitter again, the T. Okay, the second T. Yeah, so it's the remain one. Yeah, it will have the quench number 2 and then remain 2. Okay, define directly, for example, 0.4. Yeah, again I will optimize that value later. Okay, and this quench number 2 will combine with the outlet of bed number 1 into the inlet of bed number 2. Okay, so I will put in here the mixer. This one is the vapor bed number 1. Okay, and then this one is quench number 2. Okay, so this one is inlet for bed number 2. Okay, anybody can you follow this simulation? Is it okay to you? The speed is not
Not too fast.
too fast, yeah?
Clear, sir.
Not too fast.
Okay, okay. Okay, so I will define again for the bed number 2. So it will be the inlet for the bed number 2. Okay, so the outlet will be in terms of the vapor. It's vapor bed number 2, and then this one is the for the leak bed number 2. Okay, and then we have to define the reaction. Okay, for example, for this one is reaction set number 2 used for the evaluation for the bed number 2. Okay, and then again, yeah, we have the vapor bed number 2. It will combine with the quench number 3. Yeah, it's becoming the inlet for the bed number 3. Yeah, so we have to put the T in here. What is used T? T is to split the remain 2 into the quench number 3 and then remain 3. Okay, and then for this one I set again 0.4. I don't know, I will optimize later. Okay, and then I will combine this one with that vapor bed outlet of that bed number 2. So I will have to install the mixer in here. Okay, and then the inlet will be vapor bed 2. And then this one is the quench 3. Okay, so it will be have inlet bed 3. Okay, and then after that I will put the reactor in here. Okay, so in here I will install the reactor. Okay, This one, it will have the inlet bed 3. Yeah, so it will have vapor bed 3. And this one is that for the liquid bed 3. Okay, for the reaction, I will set this as the set number 3. Okay. Oh, this one is not the remain 3, but this one is quench 4. I will change. Quench 4. So I will combine quench 4 with the outlet of bed number 3 into the inlet bed number 4. Okay, this is the last bed that we have. Okay, so this one is the vapor bed 3. Okay, and then I will combine with the quench 4. Okay, and then I will have inlet bed 4. Okay, and then after that, I will have the conversion reaction, which is this one is the last conversion that I have. Okay, so this one is the inlet bed 4, vapor bed 4, and then liquid bed 4. Okay, I will select the reaction as the set 4. Okay, and then the outlet of bed 4 is mentioned in here. Okay, it will use to increase the temperature of inlet. So in terms of the outlet vapor bed 4, so it will be cooled down. It will be cooled down in here. Yeah, so the inlet of vapor bed 4. Okay, the energy to cool down that flow rate will be Q12. Okay, so the heat from this light will goes to this heater. Okay, and then the outlet, it will be product. Okay, and then the delta P, I just say about the 15 psi. Oh, 15. Okay, now it's okay. Okay, I will flip a bit to make it okay. So now my PFD is complete. Okay, you can see in here. Okay, I start from the feed. I split it the flow rate into the quench and then the inlet for that bed. Each bed there will be 4 bed in here. Okay, so probably now is the simulation is already complete. Okay, but remember the value of the conversion that I put in this reaction is still not correct. I have to correct it. Okay, how do I correct? Okay, I have the data of this temperature. So the way that I will do to able to obtain the correct conversion for each bed is to match for each temperature, okay, with my simulation. Okay, to do that one, I will do the optimization. Okay, what optimization that I do? Okay, I will go to the home. Okay, wait a minute. I will go to the home. Okay, and then beside the compressor search, we have did this one last week. Okay, about the compressor evaluation, but now we will use optimizer in here. Okay, so please click optimizer in here. Okay, and then after that, okay, I will call the spreadsheet, optimizer spreadsheet. Okay, there is a coming new optimizer spreadsheet in my canvas. Okay, and then after that, I will put all of the value related the optimization that I will do. Yeah. In order to do that one, allow me to increase the number of column and number of row. Okay. And then I will go to spreadsheet. Okay, so this one is a comparison between design data and simulation. Okay, and then after that, I will check again. Okay, the first one that I would like to define is that T inlet to bed 1. Yeah, and then T outlet will open again the HYSYS, this one. Okay, yeah. This one is for that design data. The inlet bed 1 should be 353. Yeah, and then the T outlet bed 1, yeah, 481. Okay, and then this T inlet for bed 2 is around 389. And then T outlet bed 2 itu 451. Okay, T inlet bed 3 okay, 390. T out for the bed 3 yeah, 436. T inlet for the bed 4 yeah, 404. And then T outlet for the bed out for the bed 4 is around 446. Okay, and then the T product is 322. Yeah, it's coming from here. Outlet 322. And then this one is my simulation data. How about my simulation? The T inlet in here is around, I just copy and then I paste in here. Yeah, it's so different. I will optimize this value. And that the temperature outlet is also different. It's not correct. Okay. I will do the same for that inlet of bed number 2. Okay, which is the temperature is still lower than the and then this one for the bed number 3. Okay, and then the last one for the bed number 4. And this one is for the product temperature. Okay, and then I will say this is the absolute delta. Okay, delta is mean that the difference between the design data and my simulation data. What I have to do is actually I would like to function help. I will take it the absolute. Okay, absolute. Okay. This one is it's absolute between B3 minus C3. Why I have to do absolute? Okay, because sometimes the simulation can be higher than the design, and sometimes design can be higher than the simulation. So in order to not to have the negative value, so I will put the negative absolute. Okay, so I will just copy this one, copy and then paste 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 and also and then paste. And then at the end, this one is the function of objective. Function objective. Which is actually the total all of this one. So for this one in HYSYS for the sum is okay. So I will F sum between D3 until D11. Okay, this one is the objective value that I have. Okay. Okay. After that, what I have to do? Okay, I will go back to my optimization. Okay, I will come back to my optimization. And then I will go to variable. This one is the way that I do to change all the value that previously I defined as initial value. Okay, so what I have to do in here? Okay, the thing that I will do in here is actually to define all of parameter in here that can create a problem. Okay, that temperature, my temperature here is different so high, so I have to do that one. So for example, in this case, first I define the T100 is not correct, so I will go to the T100 and then I will go to the flow, select this one. Okay, and then I will do also for the next T, which is T101, and then I select. Again, I will check T number this one. Okay, I will have this one. Okay, so it's clear that previously my T is defined as 0.4. Now, okay, I will correct this one by optimizing this value until the delta error is really very small. Okay, so it will define adjust. Other than that, also the conversion that I want to have should be adjusted. Okay, so I will add in here. Okay, I will start from this reactor bed number 1. Okay, this one is called as CRV100. Okay, and then the percent conversion I will select. Okay. And also for the CRV101, okay, spec conversion, okay, I will select 10. Okay, this one is 7. Then I click select, and it will be 5. Okay, and then remember I define this one as the outlet temperature directly, yeah. Okay, so I have to do one out, stream out, this one inlet out, this one It's the temperature. Okay, I don't know which temperature should be. Okay, I put all of the initial value from the simulation. Okay, HYSYS will change all of this value until the delta, okay, will be minimum. So I will go to the function. Okay, I have to define about the functional objective function in here. So I will put in here as the D, what is this one? D12. Okay, this one it should be D12. Okay, now what it should be? It should be minimize or maximize. Hello? The D11, a D12 value, it should be minimize or maximize. Which one is the correct one? Minimize?
Minimize, sir.
Oh, minimize. Okay, yeah. So it's correct. It should be minimize. Okay. So what we have to do is put it minimize and then go to the parameter. This one is this one. Usually I just increase the maximum iteration, for example, 100. Okay, and remember before starting the optimization, okay, please save first your file. So I will save first about this file. Okay, I will save to the D. Okay, or in the desktop, just simple desktop. I will put this is the ammonia synthesis. Okay, I'm ready to do the simulation or to do the. I will go to the monitor. Okay, and now I will start the optimization. Okay, it will not take long. Okay, now previously my delta is quite high, 100. Now is 28. Now is 5. Okay, and then it stopped. Maximum function evaluation exceeded. In the case that you have a problem with this one, please check again back to the variable, and probably some of your simulation hit the low bound or high bound. For example, this one. Okay, in this case, my prediction, the optimization analysis is close to my low bound. So what I have to do, I will make it into smaller one. For example, I change into 0.1. Yeah. For this one is safe, I think. For this one is also safe. This one is also safe. This one is okay, and this one is okay, and this one is okay. So what I will do, okay, I would already change the one parameter low bound. So I will start again the simulation. I hope that the delta will be now much lower. Okay, from 5 to 3 now. Okay, still optimizing. Now 2 degree, the total delta. Okay, now is the total delta is only 2 point something. Please check again, yeah, whether some of this one. Okay, okay. Make sure that there is no error again. This one is 0.3 is okay. Okay. To ensure that this it will be the end of the simulation, please start again. Now it's 2.003. Okay, 2.004. Okay, the total error is 2. Total error. Okay, okay, okay. Now is the time to evaluate our simulation. Okay, the total error, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 2 divided by 9 is around yes 0.2. Okay, 0.2 or 0 point something. Okay, you can see here that is the error is quite very small. 353, 4081, and then 39 something is almost close each other. Okay. For example, in here, okay, we have 436, 435.7. Okay, usually yes, it's based on the engineering value. Yes, it is acceptable. Okay, so our simulation is already close to the design data. Okay, and remember, okay, that initial value that I put in the simulation is now already changed by HYSYS following this what is the optimization, okay, to reduce, to minimize the error between the design data and the simulation data. Okay, we found a quite a nice data, which is the total error is only 2 degrees C. Okay, when we compare or we divide into the 9 data in here, so it means that for each data, for each temperature, the error is could be only 0.2 something. Yeah, it's shown in here that is the data between the design and simulation is close to each other. So it's mean that optimization already conducted and already done in a very good manner, good result. Yeah, because the delta is very small. Now we evaluate the data that changed by HYSYS, okay, following the temperature profile. Okay. It's mentioned that the T100, okay, the split ratio actually is not, yeah, my initial guess, okay, is slightly different. Okay, I put previously 0.4, now is the correct one, it should be 0.39. Okay, the second one, yeah, it should be 0.23. Okay, and then the third one, okay, should be 0.41, and then the last one it should be 0.62. Okay, so my prediction sometimes correct, sometimes also not correct. Okay, but at the end, okay, after the optimization, HYSYS already recalculate this value, okay, and then give the correct split ratio. Yeah, and then how about the conversion? Okay, it's mentioned in here that is previously I mentioned this value is 15, but actually it's not correct. It should be 17.5 for the bed number 1, and then for the bed number 2 it should be 9.6. Previously my initial guess is around 10. Okay, and then for the bed number 3, okay, it's 7.34, and then bed number 6 should be 6.94. Yeah, so this is the way that we do to evaluate the performance of the reaction. Okay, so based on that temperature profile, we try to find the correct value of the conversion of the reaction. For in this case, we have 4 bed, and each bed has different value in terms of the reaction conversion. Okay, now we know that is based on the design value. Okay, the percent of that conversion, okay, it should be 17, 9, 7, and 6. So I will copy this one. No, it's not should be connected. I have to disconnect. No. So okay, no problem. Okay, I just copy this one. The descent value is 17.54, 9.61, 7.34. Why? 7.34. And this one is 6.94. Okay, now what I have to do? Okay, I have to change. Yeah, the value with this data, design data with the operation one. Okay, but I will save first. Okay, I will save. Now I will change this data with this one with the operation one. Okay, so I will wait a moment. Yeah, so the inlet will be now 340. This one is 465, 437, 480, 433, 471, 442, and then 464, and then the outlet will be 316. Okay, now look at this one. The error is quite very high. Now I will do what I will do is I will do the simulation again. I will start this one, but now what I'm doing is to minimize the error between the simulation data with the operation data. Okay, and then I start this one. Okay. Yeah, it's already 8. Yeah, and then what I have to do? Okay, now I will look at about this one. Yeah, now I already changed the data, gitu ya, with the operation data, and I obtain this value. Okay, I will put this value in here. Okay, 17. Sorry, 17.14 and then 6.65, 4.68. Okay, now okay, if you look at this value, okay, can you answer which bed has the degraded performance? Which one? Hello, anybody? Hello.
Sorry, sir, can you repeat your question again?
Okay, my question is, I already changed the simulation and I obtained the operation conversion, yeah, in the H column, yeah, which means that is okay. There will be a different value between the operation and design. Okay, my previous task actually that we are to find which bed that has the degraded performance. Okay, so following this evaluation, following this data, okay, can you explain which bed has kind of degraded performance? Bed number 1, is it okay? Still okay?
Still okay, sir.
I think still okay. Yes. The bed number 1 has the conversion in terms of design is around 17.5. Yeah. During the operation, the conversion is still high, which is 7.1. Okay, a bit lower, but I think 0.4 is acceptable. Okay, and then how about bed number 2? Bed number 2, okay, the design for the conversion of the bed number 2 is around 9.6. But now for the operation, the degree performance is reduced into 6.9 or 7. So it's mean that there are 2.6 of the degradation. Yeah, so we can suspect this as that degraded bed. Yeah, and then how about number 3? Bed number 3. Bed number 3, the design conversion is 0.3, yeah, and then the operation is around 6.5. Yes, we can evaluate here. That is, there is a bit in terms of this degradation, but not higher compared to the bed number 2. Yeah, and then how about bed number 4? Bed number 4, the design conversion is around 6.9 or around 7. Yeah, but the operation is very low. Yeah, it's only 4.6. Yeah, so it means there is around 2.3 of the degradation. Yeah, so it means that is we can say, yeah. Yeah, so by doing this evaluation, yeah, we can compare between the degraded the design of the conversion with this operation. So we can evaluate which bed from this reaction, yeah, from this reactor have the degradation performance, yeah, by comparing about the percentage of that conversion in the design mode and also with the operation mode. Okay, do you have any question?
Sir,
Regarding
Not
with to this evaluation? Yes, please.
what what causes the what causes the degradation of the beds?
Okay, what is the cause of the degradation? Okay, first is the length of the operation. Okay, the operation, if I'm not mistaken, okay, this catalyst is already used for 2 years. Okay, so it means that this is already a very long period of the operation. So because the age, yeah, because the operation already done, probably now is the time for the operation to change the catalyst. Yeah, and the second, yeah, it could be the overheating. Yeah, we don't know about that one. Yeah, so overheating can also create the agglomeration of the active site. So because the active site is agglomerate, not dispersed anymore, so the performance will be reduced. Yeah, so there are many reason for this. What is this one? Yeah, and also poisoning the catalyst. Poison also can be the reason. For example, this catalyst should be less water, but there are a lot of water coming to the reactor. It can also make a problem related with the activity of the catalyst. Yeah, or the presence of coke, for example, carbon. Carbon can block the surface of the catalyst and create the deactivation of the catalyst. So many reasons for that degraded. The one that we do actually is not try to find what is the reason of the degradation, but we try to find in which location that the performance of the catalyst is reducing. Yeah, whether in the bed number 1, bed number 2, 3, or bed number 4. Yeah. Okay. Any other question? Or is it answering your question?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay. Any others question? How about today class? Today class is clear to you? Okay. How
Yes, sir.
we evaluate the compressor based on that temperature profile. Is it clear? Yeah, I think.
Sir, can I ask something, sir?
Yes, please.
What makes C3, C33, and C168 different? Like, is it the impeller diameter or what the physical properties or and dynamics? What makes it different?
What makes?
Well, you gave us case 4 as the starter, right? Where it has already C33 and C168. What makes the properties of those both compressors different?
No, no. You are talking about the previous case or today case?
The homework, I mean.
Oh, okay, okay. Let's finish first about this today class, and then after that I will answer your question. But
Yeah,
we focus first about our class for today first. Yeah. So any
okay.
other question related with this class?
I want to ask, what is the tolerance number if it's degraded or not? Why is battery not degraded?
Battery can have, yes, battery is degraded. Yeah, I mean that there is a different value. Even that bed number 1 is also the performance is reducing. Yeah, from 17.5 now is 17.1. Yeah, but the important here is that we have to find which the most degraded in terms of bed number 1, bed 2, bed 3, and bed 4. Yeah, following that this evaluation, yeah, if you find the different, for example, is higher than 2 percent of the conversion. So it's mean that the degradation is quite a lot. But what you can find in here for the bed number 1 and bed number 3, which is the delta is what is around less than 2%. So it's mean that is yes, there is a degradation, but the degradation is still quite what is small. Okay, compared to the bed number 2 and then bed number 4. Yeah. Okay. So is it answering your question? Yes.
So it's tolerable, bed number 1 and 3, you mean?
Bed number 1 and bed number 3. I mean, okay. The main idea of this one is actually to find which bed that has the most severe degradation problem. Yeah, because we will suggest to that operator, yeah, it's mean that we will suggest to increase the quench, yeah, for that one. Probably due to the degradation problem is due to the temperature is too high. Yeah, for this case. For these cases, all bed experiencing the degradation problem, even for the bed number 1. Bed number 3 is also has a problem with the degradation. Bed number 2 and bed number 4 as well. Yeah, but which one is more severe? Okay, we can find that is bed number 2 and bed number 4. Okay, because that the degradation is more than 2%. So it's mean that in the next operation we have to consider to change about the change ratio for the bed number 2 and bed number 4. Okay, because after the 2 years operation, okay, the degradation is for the bed number 2 and bed number 4 is much higher compared to the beds number 1 and beds number 3. Yeah, which is beds number 1 is very small. Yeah, yes, degraded, but it's very small. It's only 0.4, I think. And then for the bed number 2, it could be yes, around 1 point something. Yeah, around 1 point, probably 1.8. No, 0.8. Yeah, 0. Less than 1%. Okay. So I mean that is from the point of view of the operation. So bed number 1 is okay, bed number 2, bed number 3 okay, but for the bed number 2 and bed number 4, because it's more than 2%, so we have to look at more carefully to the operation in the future. Is it answering your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Okay, if there is no more question, so I think enough for today evaluation for the reactor, and then I will open for the question related with the homework. Okay, what is the question related to the homework?
I just wanted to ask what makes C33 and C168 different, the physical properties.
The physical properties? Yes,
Yeah.
because they have the different compressor performance curve.
When you made the starter file, what did you insert the number? What makes them different? What makes the profile curve different? As you can see, the volumetric flow rate is different, right, between 168 and 130 130 C33. What makes it different, sir? I don't understand.
Why it's make the what is the reason why is make the flow rate for the starter file? Okay, the important of the starter file is just please use the compression curve that I already put it in the simulation. Yeah, but in the case of the flow rate, please change it. You have to change that one. Following that the flow rate can be handled by those two compressor. So please don't stick to the value that I put in the startup file. Okay, whether the flow rate is, for example, 5, 8 or something. You have to change that one. Actually, this is the job that you have done. Okay, you have to do. Okay, in order to able to answer my question regarding what is the maximum flow rate. Yeah, what is the this becoming the question actually. So when I put something related with the flow rate, so please don't follow that one. You have to change that value for sure. Okay, not becoming the what is the value that you have to follow, not that one. The things that you have to use is actually that the performance that I give to yours in the simulation. So is it clear to you?
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other question? Okay. If there is no question, I think okay, we can finish to the class. Okay, thank you for your attention. See you next week and have a good day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.